So guys, there is this video coming from Edo State that I want each and every one of us to watch. But before we get into that, take a look at the updates on lawyer Aloy Ejimako, who has been remanded in Kuje prison. Take a look.
On Tuesday, a magistrate court ordered the remand of Aloy Ejimako, one of the lawyers representing Nnamdi Kanu, in Kuje prison. The police arrested Ejimako after he joined protesters demanding Kanu's release and charged him alongside 12 others with various offenses, including criminal conspiracy, disobedience of a lawful order, inciting disturbance, and disturbance of public peace, contravening sections 152, 114, and 113 of the Penal Code law. This development has escalated the controversy surrounding the protest, while legal observers note that while lawyers have the constitutional right to peaceful assembly, their arrest during the protest they participated in adds another layer of complexity to an already contentious case involving freedom of expression, the right to protest, and due process. Well, activist Samoya Showore, in response to this detention, actually put out a post on X, and he wrote, "It is unfortunate that the Nigerian Bar Association has remained quiet regarding the unwarranted and unjust detention of Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, Aloy Ejimako and Barrister Okereke Kingdom Nnamdi. President Afam Osigwe, what is going on? Hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu now." In the meantime, the Center Against Injustice and Domestic Violence has called on the Nigerian Bar Association to take immediate disciplinary action against Aloy Ejimako for alleged professional misconduct. In a statement, the group condemned the lawyer's appearance at the protest ground, describing it as a clear breach of professional ethics and a violation of Rule 33 of the Rules of Professional Conduct for Legal Practitioners 2023, which deals with sub judice statements. And according to the rule, and I'll read this statement in part, it says, a lawyer or law firm engaged in or associated with persecution or defense of a criminal matter shall not, while litigation is pending, make or participate in making any extrajudicial statement that is calculated to prejudice or interfere with the fair trial of the matter, adding that the law expects that lawyers argue their cases in court, not on the streets, in protest grounds, or on media platforms. I mean, Vimba, I'm coming to you. Mr. Ejimako's participation in this protest is, they say, is tantamount to trying to sway public opinion and, by extension, the court's view on the matter still under adjudication. I mean, your thoughts on, some of all of these things that I've unpacked before, we discuss on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu as well, because I believe that he has also filed.
Yes, very complex issues. And I think in this instance, I always like to say two things can be true at the same time. The first issue is dealing with the incarceration of the lawyer and the other group of activists. Now, when you look at that FIR report and the issues that they are being indicted for, there are a number of concerns. The number one concern being people are saying that, but this group also included Showore himself. But Showore is a free man, and the other 13, I believe, are in prison. So why is there separation between those who have been arrested? If they were all together in a group and alleged to have all committed the same offense, why is there this selectivity? So that means that clearly, the playing field is not level. The rules are not applying equally, and many people are even challenging and contesting those rules to say, well, is this really what transpired? Were they really causing public disruption with their protest? Besides the fact that they did stay within the limits prescribed to them, when they tried to go beyond those limits, the police acted, and they were peaceful in their execution. However, another issue that I brought up earlier that I'll bring up is this issue of chanting war songs. And I think we have to be careful now with where we're going. I drew parallels with the case of Julius Malema in South Africa, who was taken to court over chanting a war song. If you remember, he has a song called Kill the Boer. And he says that it's not an insightful song because it's a remnant of their liberation past. So we now need to start having a conversation in Nigeria about whether chanting of war songs that are remnants of a struggle of the past do constitute a public disruption in some form or the other. In South Africa, it was ruled to have been within the constitutional right of any activist or advocate to chant any war song they want. Now it's set for the Nigerian law to set their own precedent on this issue. Now that's on one aspect. On the aspect of sub judice, the rules are clear. This man was on the streets advocating for and vocalizing for a case that should have been in defense as of that point. Of course, we've seen a number of issues that have come up with regards to delaying going into that defense. But at this time, I think that we need to focus our attention to the defense because the prosecution have rested their case, and it's now up to Nnamdi Kanu to put forward his own defense. I know there are other developments that you'll come to, but and it's now not only is it up to him to put forward his defense, but it's also up to the public, civil society, to hold the judiciary accountable to ensure that his defense is treated fairly, it's given in a fair environment, and that he has access to all that he needs to be in order for him to provide a thorough and robust defense for himself. I think I hope I've dealt with many of the substantive issues. But yeah,
I mean, in terms of Ejimako being, detained in Kuje and all of that, you would wonder. I mean, he's a lawyer. Shouldn't he have known the rules? But I'm sure that there will be other, lawyers that would actually come and argue his case as well as to whether or not he had a right to protest at the same time. But meanwhile, barely 24 hours after the protest, the detained IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu, in a motion he personally filed on Tuesday, October 21st, agreed to enter his defense and informed the Federal High Court of his plan to call a total of 23 witnesses divided into two categories. Well, among those listed as compellable witnesses are former Minister of Defense, General Theophilus Danjuma, former Chief of Army Staff, General Tuko Boratai, FCT Minister Yesom Wike, Works Minister Dave Umahi, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, and Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State. The detained IPOB leader told the court he would testify on his own behalf, providing a sworn account of the facts, denying the allegations, and explaining the political context of his statements and actions. He requested a 90-day time frame to conclude his defense, given the number of witnesses. I mean, Rufy, what a dramatic turn of events. Kanu's lawyer has been remanded in Kuje Correctional Center for participating in the protest. The timing and Kanu's decision to personally sign the notice raised questions about his relationship with his legal team and suggest a significant strategic pivot in his defense approach, potentially signaling his readiness to confront, the charges directly after years of legal challenge. People would say, I mean, he had no choice. Right now, his lead counsel is in detention. He has to, I believe he also is a lawyer, he says, Nnamdi Kanu. I've said some places that he said that.
You see, if we want to build a nation, let's build a nation. If we want to be hypocritical, let's be hypocritical. For all of those that are saying Ejimako has no right of protest, and I'm not a lawyer, so please, you can challenge some of my thoughts, but I'll think freely on this. And they are claiming sub judice. We have all been on this table where many cases that are currently in courts have been come to discuss here. Do you remember? Can we even go back and point out a couple of things? Anyway, we remember the debacle of Natasha, and we remember how people were coming to discuss the case while even the judges said they shouldn't discuss it here. Do we remember? Why didn't the legal disciplinary committee, why weren't they called in then? This case has not been, it's been on for a while. You remember that at some point during President Buhari's administration, some Igbo leaders, even when the case was in court, went to prevail over President Buhari for a political solution. Were they sub judice then? I'm talking about those Igbo leaders.
Yeah.
Recently, we've heard that governors like Alex Oti and a couple of other governors, I think governor of Imo State, have been talking to the president about a case currently in court. Can we also deem those as sub judice? So please, I don't know anything in law, but I just think out loud. So please, you can educate me. I'm open to education.
We will learn more.
No. So I want to learn.
A huge debate.
No, and that's why I'm asking. And I've cited my position that were these engagements sub judice, the one that the great elder statesman from the south is that even finally passed after that, negotiation with President Buhari at an early, was a former federal minister in the 60s in this country. They went to President Buhari to ask and beg that Nnamdi Kanu should be released political solution. The governors have been talking to the president as regards that. Are these also sub judice? Because when you say, okay, Ejimako went to protest about a case in court and you say, okay, sub judice, you should know better. Now he's been detained and, he's been taken against his right. We forget he's a citizen first. Well, those other instances were they sub judice. That's just what I want to. And please, let's also put a background on this case. We've also had a court in this country that have said Nnamdi Kanu did no wrong and should be discharged and acquitted, and appeal courts, before this case had been taken to the Supreme Court. So let's also put that in the context of this conversation. All right. Nnamdi Kanu said he wants to go ahead with the defense process. Yes, he has the rights, but also it's only incumbent on let's even make a verification if he was the one that listed these people out. And let's make a verification on that process that was said that came from him, and let him go through his defense. A man has the right to be able to defend himself.
Right.
I am not saying that we should not, have a definitive stance on the rule of law in this country. But all I point out every day is the hypocrisy.
The selective application.
I mean, there are people now that we see them carrying guns and everything, bandits, having peace meetings and all that. Nobody have arrested them now. Okay. Their matter is not in court, it's not sub judice now.
All right.
So that one is out there. Then secondly, we have also seen people that were pardoned, bandits, criminals that were pardoned. All we're also saying is the political solution that you feel was good for the bandits that people speak for, give it to this man and charge him that if any other thing is done again, then actions will be meted out. That's all what a lot of people are calling for in this regard.
Yes.
That's just it. So if you call him all sorts of things, you call him a terrorist and everything, but you've done it for some bandits in the past now, why is his own different?
All right.
That's all I'm asking. Right. I'm not saying I support the way he went about it. I'm not saying I support all his abuses.
All right.
You did the same process people are saying do for this man, for other people that we saw. You even rehabilitated them. Like Dr. Bati said, you give them ashwebi and jollof rice and pepper soup. These were people that carry gun. I'm not sure Nnamdi Kanu ever. Did you ever say any gun is not going to shoot people? But these were even people that carry gun that killed
criminals.
That criminals that committed heinous crimes.
All right.
You gave them a waiver and you said they should be good members of society again. All we are just saying is for the sake of balancing and for the sake of let's have fairness.
All right.
Let that same thing be done to Nnamdi Kanu, and let's also charge him that all the insecurity there that people attributed to you, let it stop.
All right.
So that at least when Nnamdi Kanu is out of the picture, anybody that does this thing again, we say, okay, we know this is criminality. That's all I'm arguing.
The names that he mentioned, though, as compellable witnesses, I mean, I wonder how that will play into his, defense and all of that. He's asking for 90 days. I believe the last time there was a ruling by James Omotosho, Judge Omotosho, he had said that Nnamdi Kanu should, conduct his case within 6 days. So I don't know. I mean, he's now asked for 90 days. It seems like another extension. But yesterday was this Free Nnamdi Kanu protest, and there were many dimensions to the protest. We saw a clergyman calling out notable pastors, including Pastor Enoch Adeboye, as well as Pastor Tunde Bakare, saying that instead of enjoying tithes and offerings, they should be present at the protest. Well, the same priest was seen running and taking cover after police dispensed tear gas. Let's take a look.
As an Episcopal Lord, I was expecting to see my colleagues. I've not seen anyone yet. I've not seen Pastor Adeboye, Enoch, Clergy. I've not seen Pastor Tunde Bakare. Pastor Tunde Bakare, where are you? You came to the streets to dislodge Goodluck Jonathan for his good economic economic policy, social reform. You people knock him out of Asura. And today, one man, the country is under siege. And you people are busy. You are enjoying your tithe and offering your church. Come out and speak for justice. What did God Almighty say? I do not delight in your tithe and offering. I do not delight in your burnt offering. Justice is what I ask you.
They are shooting. They are shooting.
I'm sorry, I have to out you, Rufy. Rufy has been cracking up. Is it your constituents or constituency?
No.
Both of you.
Yes, they are big pastors.
They are big pastors.
So
but you know, he did make a valid point. And I think the reason why he called those people was because they were out during the time of, you know, those protests. And I mean,
I said we should not OG.
I said you shouldn't talk. Okay, 30-second comment.
Thank God you recall that they came out in their youthful days. Has anything changed?
No.
Pastor Adebo is 83 years old. Pastor Bakari just turned 70. Let the youth go and use their strength to protest because of the altar. Because they've done their own. And I mean, I think that maybe we should call the younger ones to now take on the baton of defending and going out there to protest. You can protest in many ways. You don't have to go on the streets.
Yes, it was just that funny part where he was.
No, that was.
He should have stood with his full chest.
I applaud him coming out. I applaud him coming out to express his right as a citizen of Nigeria. It was very good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, all right. Let's now take this troubling video, which has gone viral on social media, showing a young woman identified as Aisha Wahab pleading for the public to help her raise 20 million naira in ransom after being kidnapped from Igbara camp in Auchi on October 11th. In the distressing footage, Wahab is seen with a rifle pointed at her head as she tearfully begs for her release, stating that her captors threatened to kill her by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, that was yesterday, if the money was not paid. Let's take a look.
Help me. They won't give me a beg. Mona say money come. I beg. Mona beg. I beg. Mona help me. My people, I beg. Mona help me. I beg. Time they go.
That's stupid.
My people, I beg. Mona quick.
We can need to kill.
Now 5 o'clock.
Before I come.
Yes, they don't kill me. Now they don't kill me. 5 o'clock.
They chat like that.
All right, we've been trying to reach out to the police PRO in Edo State. I was able to reach out to the Commissioner for Information, Kazim Afegua of Edo State, and he wrote that I found out from relevant security what the update was. The problem was, first of all, finding the identity of the girl, which they have been able to establish. Secondly, they are working through synergy by the 3 security agencies, police, DSS, and Edo Security Corps, and they have made useful link, but won't be able to advise any other on that. That's the main question.
I think that's the most important thing Kazim Afegua should have said.
That's the main
All
thing.
of this is just rigmarole. Yeah, we're working on things is rigmarole. Is she alive? Can we ascertain? See, this is the genocide that we face as Nigerians. The genocide of kidnapping.
Let Vimbai have the floor. Let Vimbai have the floor on this.
I mean, this is painful to watch. Yes. It's very troubling, and it's, you know, I commend you for taking the story, because it's also difficult to take it, because we ask ourselves, you know, we hope that by adding publicity to it, we're not doing more harm than good. But this is an appeal to the security forces to get in there and do what needs to be done. Edo used to have an Edo security network. I believe something happened when there was a transition to the current government. I'm not sure whether they've restored it and reinforced it, but you know, I like to always use the example of a good thing, because some people might think it's not possible, but I will always reiterate the positive developments in security that are happening in Enugu State, because the moment you enter the state, there's facial recognition. They register you, they upload you into the database. Those cameras go into the forest as well. They zoomed in for us, and you can see the detail around it. Even in the forested areas, any vehicle that enters into the state immediately gets captured and uploaded. I say this because this this is a model that needs to be followed around Nigeria, because this is the type of distress signal. If we have those AI cameras, and yes, I know many people might be a little bit reluctant and say that, can we do it? But it's being done in one of the states. If that model existed, then a distress call would have been sent out almost immediately to be able to locate, and we would even be able to watch in real time what's happening in that forest. That's what I was able to see, to experience firsthand in Enugu State. So this is just a reminder, another call to our governors, that the governors are not helpless in security issues. There are things that are within their control, and they need to take charge of those issues, because these types of instances, and then to the federal level, we have NIN, we have so many ways to track devices. This is something that was uploaded onto the internet. Are you telling me that we can't track where this upload came from and, zone in to rescue this woman? This is all English. At the end of the day, this woman must come home. She must come home alive. No ransom should be paid, and the perpetrators of this crime must be arrested. We want to see them prosecuted. We want to see them languishing in the prisons. The way it's not protesters we want to see in prison. These are the people we want to see in prison.
These are the issues really at this moment. At the end of the day, I hope that this woman is found and she's healthy. I want to make sure that I will follow up on the story, and I will do that. I hope that, Nigeria will not happen to her. Aisha must be found safe. Justice for Aisha.
Because if they tell me for this country, so we'll get this kind of numbers of military for this Abuja, and they experience insecurity problem, I will get this kind of military for this country. I'm not going to believe. You need to see, they carry, and you see armored car for harmless protesters. Protesters, we no carry anything. We not carry armored car. See guns. Jesus Christ.
The protest for October 20 for free Nnamdi Kanu has come and has gone, and lessons have been learned. One of the key lessons that we can pick from it is the restraint, the maturity shown by Peter Obi for not participating in that protest. Can you imagine? Now the protest happens, you have Shore, who happens to be at the forefront of this protest. Being at the forefront of this protest, organizing this protest and doing everything. Now, joined by the council of Nnamdi Kanu and Nnamdi Kanu's younger brother, all participated in this protest. But let me tell you what happened. At the end of the day, the main guy, who is the main organizer, wasn't arrested. But who was arrested? Mr. Aloy and Emmanuel Kanu, the younger brother of Nnamdi Kanu. They were both arrested. And right now, those guys, there's a struggle whether to remind them in Kuje prison. What does that tell you? Wisdom. And the political strategist or the political future of Peter Obi would have been messed if Peter Obi had ventured, entered, or even participated in this protest. His photograph of running against tear gas would have been viral on social media. So I want to salute the advisors of Peter Obi and people that are close to him who made sure that he did not participate in this protest, because wisdom is profitable.
Well, to our next story from Kano State, where a magistrate court has taken the controversial decision to order two popular TikTokers, Idris Mai Wushiria and Bashira Yaguda, to forcibly get married within 60 days after viral videos reportedly showed the content creators engaged in romantic displays considered indecent by the state. The order came on Monday from Magistrate Halima Wali, who stipulated that the Kano State Hisba Board and the state's religious police force should facilitate their marriage, and failure to do so will be seen as contempt of court. When I read this story, Rufy, I don't know if I should come to you on this story. When I read this story, I was aghast. I mean, I've read some reactions so that you can discuss this. This decision from the court has triggered mixed reactions online, with some people welcoming the court's decision to maintain moral corrective measures in line with the state's already established Islamic values, while others say it represents an overreach from authorities against freedom of expression. Let me take this post on X. This person wrote, "This has to be one of the most absurd rulings I've seen. So now the Kanu court and Hisba are in the business of matchmaking? Let's be clear. This isn't about love or consent. 2 TikTok creators shared videos, and the court decided the solution is to force them to marry within 60 days. We have to ask, when did personal freedom and freedom of expression become a crime? What happens if either of them does not agree? This ruling raises serious concerns about the line between enforcing moral codes and violating basic human rights." Meanwhile, the Nigerian Bar Association has condemned the ruling. NBA President Afam Osigwe described the court's directive as unconstitutional, maintaining that marriage is a voluntary union that cannot be imposed by the state, describing the decision as an affront to fundamental rights and a grave misunderstanding of judicial authority. And I'll read NBA's statement in part. They wrote, "No court has the power to compel any person to marry another person or 2 persons to mandatorily marry. Marriage, by its very nature, is a voluntary union between consenting adults. It cannot, under any circumstances, be imposed as a form of punishment, moral correction, or judicial remedy." The NBA called for immediate review of the decision and urged judicial authorities to prevent reoccurrence, warning that such actions undermine public confidence in the judiciary. This case raises critical questions, Rufy, about the intersection of religious law, state authority, and constitutional rights in Nigeria's diverse landscape. Your thoughts?
See, when we started fiddling with this idea of, religious law many years ago, I think the incumbent then was told that it will have repercussions and far-reaching repercussions, and I'm sure he's beginning to see that now. So with this court that has been coerced because TikTok content producers produced content, so that means for good measure, if I probably produce a content, it's a content, I must say, that content too, that Vimbai and that me and who I should say now.
Adefemi.
No, anybody.
Why not Vimbai? I don't understand.
No.
Did you move away? Did I hear you just move away?
No.
He doesn't want to use anybody on the table.
I don't want to use anybody on the table.
For our viewers,
so that me and somebody, for instance, gets married. So what if in a film, a movie, that me and somebody got married? Would they compel me that because I married somebody in the movie,
you must get married,
that I must marry the person in real life? You're laughing.
I don't know.
But that's what the court.
Right, Nigeria.
See, that's what the court in Nigeria.
Yes, in Nigeria.
And you see, like we talk about the judiciary, and people say, "Oh, why are we talking?" And then it speaks volumes about the judiciary as we speak. So I'm sure the way I said it now, it looked like a joke to everybody. This is the joke Nigeria has become, because people want to, maintain a pristine moral outlook. When people do content to be able to make a means of living, the reason why the content creators is doing content is because you, the government, largely, you fail them. They don't have a means of living. They can't steal. So they are making a content like this. Then the next thing, you are not saying because of their livelihood, because you want to maintain a moral platform or outlook, that they must get married. You can see how funny it sounds. And that's why I'm happy the NBA has told them that this is not right. People have fundamental rights. But you see, I don't think it will stand, Audrey, because the Constitution is a grum norm. So whatever they decide, the Constitution supersedes all of that.
Of course.
And there are freedoms in the Constitution.
Well said.
It's shocking.
It is shocking. I
What
mean, they
happens in
need to
Nigeria?
reverse
That's the joke. The country.
It's unacceptable.
So just very quickly, in light of what we've been speaking about recently around domestic violence and spouses killing each other, these are people that voluntarily got married. And we're talking about how we should, the sanctity of marriage. When you force people who may not like each other, who may be at each other's throats, it doesn't all go well for that. So if we're speaking about trying to reduce the incidence of, femicide, spouses killing each other, if they come together and they fight every day, who would we blame for that? So we need to be, even on the moral side of things, it doesn't, I mean, with all due respect to the court, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
All right, well said, well said.
Area council. I was in my shop 3 months ago. Some people just carry motor gun. Said they are from Sharia court of Gudu. That their chief litigation and chief registrar has auctioned my shop. I told them that I don't have any case with them. Why should they auction my shop? I built this church in 2012. I rent their phone shop in number. I rent one to somebody. They said the person in the shop is showing their credit. I told the person owner, why can't you provide his goods? That the goods in that shop, they don't think about the goods. They say what they know is they want to take that shop. I said the business should come to the court and tell the people the owner of the shop. I go there, even though I'm a Christian. I thought why should a Christian go to Sharia court? They say I must come if I'm the owner, that they will leave me my shop and take all the documents to them. Even when I reach there, they even see the document, say they will do investigation. All I see today, they just come here, carry paper come, say that I auction the shop, that they are doing handover because I'm a Christian, because I'm Igbo, they collect my shop, Sharia court. Even if they will follow the law, as a Christian, what I have to do with Sharia court? They because of what is happening in Nigeria, they carry my case there. Even when I appear, they did not listen to me. They bring the other judge, the judge that wants to ask them what happened. They remove the judge, say that in charge of the who the moving judge. They remove the judge. The judge collected my goods, my shop for nothing. I done nothing. Even if I have case with them, I would have said that with me. But I don't have any case with them. I'm not appeared before their court. I don't want to commit anything. They just collected my shop. They said because I am nobody. Nigerians help me, oh. Nigeria help me, oh. My life will finish, oh. EDM help me, oh. They collect my shop because I am a Christian. They share the Sharia court. I'm taking my shop. God help me, oh. 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 They collect my shop just to intimidate me. I have no case with them. If I had a case, I would say that I win me. But I'm not being in their court and do any judge. They just collect my shop just like that. Just intimidation because of that one. I take the case to court. Judge collected the case and the judge said he has carried the case out because I am nobody. He said I cannot report this fellow court. Judge, I saw judge to come out my face. God help me. Woman right to come assist me. Woman right to assist me. Woman right to assist me. Woman right to assist me. I hope on God. I hope on God. I hope on God. Whoever that says you buy the shop, God will not let you take my shop. This is my sweat. This is my sweat. God help me, oh. God help me, oh. God help me, oh. That should come and help people in this community. To know if the person that's in that shop is the owner of the shop. They do not make any inquiry. I think God to make inquiry before they do something. This court do not make any inquiry. They just go here, say that I go to a newspaper, that I'm taking my shop. Nigerians help me, oh. Nigerians help me, oh. Nigerians help me, oh. God help me, oh. Chief litigation, Sharia court of Gudu. Chief registrar, Sharia court of Gudu. Chief judge, Upper Area Court, they commanded the ability. They commanded the ability. They commanded the ability. Upper Area Court, Chief judge, Upper Area Court, they collided and collect my property. God help me, oh. God help me, oh. God help me, oh. Nigeria help me, oh. My life finish, oh. My life finish, oh. My life finish, oh. I do that nothing, oh. I do that nothing, oh. Because I am a Christian, they take my case to Sharia court. They can't just go Sharia court. Say Sharia court has taken my shop. They did not invite me. 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 God help me, oh. God help me, oh. God help me, oh. God help me, oh. My life finish, oh. My life finish, oh. God help me, oh. God help me, oh.
This is Senator Patrick. Here, when I see the way he hide the red, so now what happen to a Nigeria don't happen to this senator. Now, guess what? This senator pick son and he grandson now Turkey. They take the school, not be Nigeria. He carry they go Turkey, go school as normal. So they don't finish now. They won't go to NYC for Nigeria. You know, for NYC must go to Nigeria. So they call Nigeria, go to the NYC. Make the run go back for the NYC where they can't do. Near the bad road for Nigeria, they go get accident for the bad road for Nigeria. Near the two, his son and the grandson die within 2 days. Be like today, this one guy accident. Tomorrow, that one guy accident. Near the two die. The bad road for Nigeria where they no grief fees. Near Iso, near grandson. See, guess what? The son and the grandson be the school for Turkey, not be Nigeria school. They enjoy good government for Turkey, good road for Turkey, good electricity for Turkey, and the rest. NYC, they just the country before they run, go back. Then Nigeria, happen to them. The same road when no concern them in the fees because their family they abroad. The same road don't kill Iso, it don't kill grandson. Nigeria go happen to all politicians for Nigeria.
Nnamdi Kanu had no business being incarcerated this long. I say it, and I'm very, very vehement about it. Nnamdi Kanu has not committed the kind of sin or the kind of atrocities, the kind of constitutional infraction any Nigerian has committed. Now, you have people like Sunday Igboho, who was arrested with arms. Igboho is going about doing whatever he's doing. Now, you have several kingpins, whether they are bandits, whether they are terrorists, or whether they're anything they are called, they are free and going about their businesses. Nnamdi Kanu is simply expressing his constitutional and humanitarian right. And so to keep on caging Nnamdi Kanu or incarcerating him is not only a disservice to humanity, is also a great constitutional crisis that will come into this country. Let me take it from this point. How do we explain a situation? A man who has stood up clearly that what he is fighting for is the marginalization, perceived marginalization of a certain set of people in this country. And it has a historical anecdote. Now, what is the historical anecdote? The certain people, the Igbo people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, over the decades have been marginalized in this country. It is not a matter of allegation. It is not a matter of perception. It is something that is as strong, as visible, seen everywhere. And Nnamdi Kanu has stood up as the only person that consistently over the years and had said to everybody that my people are suffering, that my people are not enjoying what they are supposed to enjoy in the country called Nigeria. On account of that, he stood up and questioned the Nigerian state. So now, the Nnamdi Kanu issue is a multi-layered issue. First of all, you need to understand that there is a legal perspective to it. There is a political perspective to it. There is an economic perspective to it. There's also a socio-economic perspective to it. Now, let's look at the legal side of it. This is a man that was arrested in 2022. 2021. And when he was arrested, what was he arrested for? The charges were terrorism, treasonable felony, and managing an unlawful society. Now, those are the three things that he was accused of. Now, they went on trial. By 2017, the court granted him bail, and he came out. By 2022, when they attacked his house, in Umuahia. The natural instinct for somebody to survive is to see how he can survive. It's just to find a way to exit the environment where he was being attacked. And so he fled the particular scene, and he's fleeing of the particular scene, he found himself in the UK or wherever it is. And on account of that, they said he has run away. Now, the point being made is that while he was there, an arrangement was done to get him from Kenya, where he went to, and brought him back to the country. Since then, the legal issue has remained the way it is. It's not been moving forward. It's not going back. There has been a sustained effort directed not only directed by the state, but there's some political contending interests within the Nigerian state, within the Igbo elite, within the political class to keep to put Kanu down. So, in the helicopter view, the Kanu phenomenon, the Kanu issue, is one issue that can consume the Nigerian state if it is not well managed. It is beyond the rhetorics we keep on talking about. The Kanu issue is an exemplary issue to show how we can manage a country. And if that is not done properly, if it is not done methodically, if it is not done with a sense of genuineness on the part of the Nigerian state, to see how they can have a political dialogue to manage the situation, it will definitely create more crisis. Of course, as we speak now, the Southeast is agitated. There is a plan of a protest that is coming up. Now, the nature and the reason the entry of that particular protest, that we're also trying to analyze. But one thing remains, that there is a very large number of population of Nigerians, whether they're from the southeast, whether they're from the south, whether they're from the southwest, whether from the south, from the north to the north. Everybody has one particular focus now to get Nnamdi Kanu out of the place. Then you ask yourself, why is it now that the whole focus, the attention is for Nnamdi Kanu to come out? Is it for the purpose of securing a political capital? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Why would it be at the timing now that that is happening? Well, whatever timing it is, we're all interested. What we're interested in is Nnamdi Kanu should be left off hook and let him rejoin not only his family. He has a right because as we speak, his health is bad and he has to go and take medical treatment wherever it is. So finally, regarding Nnamdi Kanu, my position is Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any sin which other terrorists in this country have committed. Nnamdi Kanu is not as worse as Sunday Igboho. Nnamdi Kanu is not as demonic as the line of terrorists that are lined up in the north. They're everywhere. Nnamdi Kanu is not as evil as the bandits that spread out. That you have a bandit that will come and have a meeting with the Nigerian state operatives. Yet Nnamdi Kanu, who did not carry a gun, who did not do anything that is inhuman to speak like this set of people, is kept incarcerated in a cell. It's time for Nnamdi Kanu to come out from the prison and we can move forward for a political dialogue on how we can reintegrate the Igbo people back to the nation state called Nigeria. There is a huge crisis among the political elite. Now, the lack of cohesion amongst the political elite is one factor that we need to also ask ourselves. Now, you need to find yourself, who are the governors of the Southeast? How did they get to where they are? You're talking about Mba, who just defected to APC. You're talking about Alex Uti. You're talking about Soludo. You're talking about several of the governors in the Southeast. Yes, Francis Wifre and Hope Uzodinma and the rest of them. Now, if I ask you one particular question, in yourself, based on the assessment of all that has happened, do you think that Hope Uzodinma would support the release of Nnamdi Kanu? There's no way he will support it.
Why do you think so?
Why I think so is because before his incarceration, you saw the battle, not only the media battle, you saw the punches. You saw not only the verbal punches, you saw the political volleys that was going on between himself and the governor of Imo State. Now, not only that, he sees, Hope Uzodinma sees Nnamdi Kanu as one of those who had made Imo State ungovernable for himself. So no right-thinking or rational governor will want Nnamdi Kanu to come out. But it is time to understand that this is a statesman. I am now a statesman that governs a people, and these parochial things should not be features or factors that I should look into, but rather it should be things I will consider in a broader perspective. So to your question, why is it that people like Hope Uzodinma, who is a governor, will not want Nnamdi Kanu? I have just addressed that. He will not want because that time he made it in a way that it becomes very uncomfortable for him to govern the state. So Hope Uzodinma said. Now, for other governors, you need to understand the background of Oti himself. Oti is not a very noisy person. Oti is a very sound, professional, laid back, but organized political leader that is doing much in Abia. And that is his constituency. I do know of a certainty that OT has been at the background doing a whole lot for Nnamdi Kanu to come out, even though he might not come out in the media to talk about it. But there's a lot of work that's been going on the ground to see how Nnamdi Kanu will come out. First, it is his constituency, because that is where he comes from. Secondly, it will also be a political plus for him. Thirdly, it will now also bolster his chances of re-election. Fourthly, it will put him in a position to even get closer to the president and also to see how they can project the Igbo cause. So I see him being at the forefront of this particular campaign, but he is being also very, very cautious in his movement. Now, for people like Wufre of Airborne, I can see neither here nor there where he is. Of course, he should understand his political mentor, Umahi. Umahi is vehemently opposed to anything that has to do with the Biafran cause. So I do not see any difference. I do not see any impact. I do not see any way his boy to speak, or his political son will want to go to want to do what he doesn't want to do. So that's for Ebonyi itself. Now for Soludo, you know Soludo's position regarding this. Soludo does not take kindly to anything that has to do with this Biafran cause and all that. And he has voiced that over time. It's not hidden. His position is very clear. Now to your question, why is it that the Southeastern governors are reluctant to come out forcefully to now, as an umbrella body, to see how they can get Nnamdi Kanu out of incarceration? The answer simply is this: everybody is scared of his position of governor, and that how impact on him either during his re-election or their continual governance of the particular state. That is the reason. They're just being selfish about it, and that's where it stands.
So guys, you have seen some of the trending videos today on the social media. You know, Nigeria is like a drama scene. Every day there is one story or the other that will really catch your attention, you know. So I'm going to I'm going to be taking some of the reactions on the social media just for you to see what is happening in Nigeria. I'm going to be taking some headlines here, you know. So let's start. Let me take you through some of the headlines here. I'm just going to be reading them the way they came. Just giving you guys updates on what is happening in Nigeria. So I have this update here that says this interview of the former governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, is trending all over again. So, you know, when Otom was talking about the Fulanis and that the federal government is complicit of, you know, ending insecurity. So, guys, there is another headline that really catches one's attention. It says Tinubu is dragging Nigeria deeper into debt. By the end of second quarter 2025, in just 3 months, public debt will jump to 3 trillion naira, hitting 152 trillion naira under the Tinubu's government. Don't forget, Buhari left 77 trillion. Tinubu has doubled it. And very soon, he is going to times it by 3. Now, let me read more to this. This headline went further to say Tinubu is a mastermind behind Nigeria's debt crisis. Nigeria public debt has crossed 152 trillion, rising by 3 trillion in just 3 months. Tinubu's government is borrowing without breaks, and the future is paying the price. It went further to say Nigeria's debt burden has jumped by 3 trillion in just 3 months, fueled by Tinubu's relentless borrowing and weak fiscal restraint. By June 2025, total public debt stood at 152 trillion. That trillion naira, 80 trillion naira domestic and 71.84 trillion external, with the federal government responsible for nearly 93% of it. Despite boasting of higher revenue, the Tinubu's administration is pushing another debt again, another new loan, $2.35 billion. You know, it went further to say an economist warned is reckless. Okay. It went further to say a move economists warn is reckless and unsustainable. So that is it. You know, Nigerians have been reacting to this news. You know, Nigerians have been reacting to this news. Really sad that we have to go through all this again. Can imagine. So I'm going to take you through some of the reactions, but before then, fire engulfed several shops at popular Alaba Market in Lagos State this night. Hey, Alaba Market, thousands and billions again gone. Igbo people, you will suffer and get the money, they will still take it away from you. It's really so sad, you know. Alaba market, just recently they demolished trade fair. This on fire. Every time Igbo market's on fire. Tinubu should just give these Igbo people seaport. Give them seaport, give them a port. And see why Lagos will not be decongested. You know, at least people will find themselves in the southeast doing businesses that they can boast of. Not people who struggle over years. Some of them are carrying these goods, you know, on debt basis, and then only for fire to erase everything. Fulani terrorists are displaying buying madness in Plateau State. Christians are being buyed, and our government and security agencies are silent. They are silent, you know. Christians are being by their silence. It's really, really so sad. This person said, video of a Edo governor's convoy stranded in flood has got a lot of people talking online. How do you go? And Shehu Sani says Nigeria will head for a revolution if this fails. If this fails, that is in 2016. Shehu Sani was ready for a revolution under the Buhari's government, 2016, and now the same Shehu Sani is now supporting Tinubu and is silent and can't talk. Somebody tweeted and said, all the lies they used in defending Buhari's failure are being used to defend Tinubu's colossal failure. Once Tinubu loses in 2027, all these same people will start blaming him for destroying Nigeria. Tinubu will lose 2027 election and return to Budilon, and Nigeria will begin to get better. Abio. Nigeria will begin to get better. I'm going to take some reactions from this tweet because the person who tweeted this tweet is a Yoruba guy. You must have, maybe possibly there will be a lot of buzz in the comment section. This person said, just keep your cool because Bat, though performing below expectation, but Nigerians will vote him in 2027. He will defeat Atiku, be both on the same ticket in every region of the country. He got some steps wrong, but the end will better the economy of the country. Performing below expectation doesn't bother you. Lives of several Nigerians being wasted because of insecurity don't matter to you. Decaying educational system is of no significance to you. Your joy is just that someone you know cannot win a local government election. B, that is it. This person say, so who you are recommending as replacement? So who you are recommending? Once you say, so who are you recommending? The headline says, Peter Obi to Nigeria. Tinubu is my brother and we have similar ideology. Algorithm agrees. All the lies, algorithm agrees. This person say, oh God, you need to see what people are typing on the internet here. Sometimes you just feel like laughing, you know, laughing because of some of the things on the internet here. Christians are being hounded, slaughtered in Nigeria for their faith, and the world stays silent. U.S. Rep. Anna Luna demands global outreach. Hey, Baba. Thank God for even remembering Christians because a whole lot has happened unreported. Exposed, senators got 2 billion naira each, while House of Rep members got 1 billion naira each for constituency projects, which their constituent never saw. If we look critically, OBJ was right about the rogues in National Assembly. These senators and reps are all there for their pockets, and they are just there for their pockets too. UAE political analyst Ahmad warned of systemic ethnic religious violence against peaceful Nigerian Christians. Hey, from UAE, somebody is warning of systemic religious violence against Christians. Wow, this is nice to see somebody from, from the Middle Belt speaking for Christians. There's no law that says a lawyer cannot protest against injustice. The action of the executive discriminate against Nnamdi Kanu. Court has given judgment in favor of Kanu against federal government that has not been honored. You see it. And that is true. The federal government is not even obeying the court ruling, and they want people to obey. I don't know what's really happening in this country, honestly. I don't know. It's really, really sad there. So this is Harrison and Nigerian military. Possibly they are trying to locate where these bandits are keeping this lady whom you have seen on the internet. They were seen in the bush trying to look for these people. Sultan has spoken, no record of genocide against any group in Nigeria. That is Sultan. You are speaking to yourself. Peter Obi smart leadership blueprint. So yeah, this video of this lady, if you still support this government after seeing this, after seeing something like this, a government that sits to negotiate with bandits, this must be your portion before the end of this. If you are still supporting Tinubu's government, so guys, I don't know your take on all this. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.